Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining me this morning from Fitch Rona EMS, it's Jeff Dosalik. And as we said off the top of the show, he has brought the snow with him yet again.
So wait till June or July. It's snowing in June or July, then we have problems.
That's your that's your retaliation.
That's
right
my
there.
retaliation right there, yeah.
Wait for the warmness. All right, perfect. Well, today we've got a couple of good topics to talk about, and first it's your the community paramedic program that is kicked off. So will be kicking off, I should say.
Will be.
So kind of set us up what this program's all about.
Sure. So the communities were generous enough to set some money aside for us this year to start our community paramedic program. And when you talk about community paramedic program, there's lots of things that encompass that, from just doing regular blood pressure screenings to how do we reduce readmissions to hospitals. So we decided, as we were talking about this, we need to start a little bit small. We've set aside about 8 hours a week to devote to the community paramedic program. Initially, we're going to start doing blood pressure screenings and blood glucose screenings at the senior centers, so both Fitchburg and Verona. We're still working on a date and time for that, and we'll try to make it as consistent as possible monthly. I don't know that we could do weekly to start off, but probably monthly. And then as seniors come in or older adults come in and have their blood pressure screened or their blood glucose screened, if that's what they would like, we'll also talk to them about the File for Life. So if you haven't seen that, it's a trifold thing that we can fill out with them. It's a magnet, put it on the refrigerator. So if we do go on a call, then instead of trying to ask all the questions that paramedics are known to ask, we could just go to the refrigerator and grab that File for Life, and we have all the medications and allergies and stuff in there. And I think it will also give us an opportunity to talk to people about some of the issues that they might be having, that they might be afraid to go to the doctor for, but they probably should, and to maybe get a second opinion about that.
Yeah, speaking on that File for Life, not only is it good when they arrive, but if you were unresponsive and you couldn't answer any questions, or your friend you didn't know, you have that File for Life. You can, again, it's easy to get to them, and it kind of can help the paramedics lead to figuring out what's going on.
Right.
And so it definitely benefits in many different ways. So.
Right. And it has contact information on there, so if we need to get a hold of a loved one or a significant other, we would have that information as opposed to trying to dig through the house to get that. So we're really hoping that program takes off, and as you come to the senior center, ask us about the File for Life.
Perfect. All right. How about you're working on the Dementia program as well with UW Hospital and the Alzheimer's Association. Talk a little bit about that.
Sure. We were contacted by the Wisconsin Alzheimer's Institute and UW Hospital to participate in a grant that they had written. Essentially, our portion of the grant will be to go out and visit patients that are on the initial onset diagnosis of Alzheimer's. We know what a devastating disease that can be. So our goal with Fitch Rona is to visit these patients. They'll be referred to us from the Wisconsin Alzheimer's Institute, and we'll go out and visit them, provide them resources, try to have a relationship with them. So, as most people, they don't really want to go to the hospital. They don't want to seek out resources, and we'll be there to give them those things that will help them either manage their disease a little bit better, talk with their family members, maybe do some initial training with family members on what they can expect with their loved one as they go down the path of Alzheimer's. We're really excited to get started with this program. We've had some initial conversations with UW and with the Wisconsin Alzheimer's Institute, and we're just trying to work out the logistics of how we get referrals and how we get the information back to them. The biggest question for us is, the HIPAA regulations and releasing that kind of information back to a study, and those are some of the things that we're working on right now.
Will you guys be able to offer up to helping the caregivers as well? So it'd be working not only with the patient, but caregiver that's with the said patient?
Right. So part of the study is to do education. So not only education for the patient themselves, but also for caregivers. And here's what you can expect, and here's what you can expect from EMS. And I think ultimately the goal for us is some of these patients don't really need to go to the hospital. They need resources. And if we can intervene early enough, then when a loved one sees their mother, their father, their brother, sister with dementia, their first reaction is, I need to take them to the hospital, and in fact, that may not really always be the case. So that's the ultimate goal in the end.
Perfect. Well, switching to a bittersweet moment here for Fitch Rona EMS. You had retirement that we talked about in the past, but a party coming up for it. And Marty retired after 25 years with Fitch Rona EMS, which is just incredible when you think of how many sleepless nights he had and all the patient contacts he had. It's pretty special.
Yeah, Marty was a great guy, and I shouldn't say was, he is a great guy. He's still with us.
Whoops.
Marty is a great guy, and we miss him at the department for sure. We're holding a party for him on March 26th. It will be at Gray's Tide House in Verona from 1 to 3. And please feel free to stop out, wish Marty congratulations, celebrate with the crew. And we're really excited to kick that off for him. He was honored at the Dane County EMS banquet a couple of Saturdays ago, last Saturday. And we're looking forward to seeing him again. Along with that is this year is Fitch Rona's 40th anniversary, and we'll be having a celebration somewhere around September. So I think September 10th or 9th is the actual official day that we were incorporated as Fitch Rona EMS 40 years ago. And we'll celebrate that as well this year.
Which is pretty crazy. So we talked about this a little bit on the show a little bit earlier when you guys released something on Facebook with Dane County EMS and whatnot. And to think that in only 40 years that we came from Dane County Sheriff's Department taking people into the hospital to having a paramedic service in the area is just remarkable.
Right.
So certainly. Appreciate what you guys are doing out there, and stay safe, and looking forward to having you on next month.
Sounds terrific.
Please leave the snow at home.
Okay, I'll bring it in July.
All right. No. Whoa. No promises you can't take back. All right, we'll take a quick break. Coming up next, we'll wrap it up with a little P&J.